silence in conversation, especially when the stakes are high. We are chemically designed against silence because it tells our brain that, oh, you are on the outside, oh, you don't belong. We fear that kind of silence because it also feels like a form of rejection, right? And the longer that silence goes, once it's past a 4-second mark, there's actually research on this, that you begin actually wanting to fix it and to fill the silence with something, because not only is this person rejecting me and judging me, but we also feel, once we're past that 4 seconds, this isn't just a feeling, we begin turning inward. That awkwardness that is created, we begin turning inward, and that creates anxiety of like, oh, this is an awkward moment. That's how our brain processes it. And for me in that moment, like all of those things were baking at the same time, honey. And I'm young and I'm flustered and I really need this. How do I tell somebody on the phone, like, forget like what the list is and forget this silence. Like, I really need this job. Fast forward literally decades, and I'm getting ready to go into this meeting with a commissioner for New York City, right? She was one of the people I was working with. She said something that will never, ever, ever leave my brain. Watch who speaks, but more importantly, pay attention to who is silent. Pay attention to the person who says nothing throughout the room and how much power centers around them, because that is the person that we need to pitch and that we need to convince and sway through everything that we do when we walk into that room. Such a complete change and a shift in thinking about silence. From that initial experience when I was very young and silence honestly thwarted. It took that job that felt like it was mine away from me, right? It snatched it out of my hands, to this particular thinking about silence as like, no, actually, silence is your friend. And silence is power. Silence is power. That completely shifted how I moved after that coaching and that meeting, because sure enough, we walked into the room and the person who was the power broker, who actually was the decision maker, said nothing the entire meeting, except of course, like the pleasantries at the beginning. And then at the very end, this dude said maybe 3 sentences. The decision completely hung on those 3 sentences that this dude had uttered at the end, right? I remember this playing as well when I was at the Iowa Writers Workshop. I remember being in Marilyn Robinson's, Marilyn Robinson, if you don't know, Barack Obama did a whole interview of like, oh my God, Marilyn Robinson. And he was a sitting president at the time. This was just after I was at Iowa. So it gives you a little bit of a perspective of who this woman is and how huge she is and how well respected she is in literary circles. There are people who every single year, they are waiting for her to win the Nobel Prize for literature. When she walks into her writing workshop, power is in the room. Like, you don't need to ask that because hello, right? But when her presence so much helps you understand that this is not a woman who is afraid of the silence speaking for her. That's true for her books on the page, but it is very much true in person as well. And I can tell you, being her student, that silence, it's both extremely intimidating, I'll be honest, but it helps you understand when she actually does open her mouth to speak, you better pay attention. You better take all of the notes, okay? You can hear her hair dropping to the floor because of how much attention everybody is giving when she eventually opens her mouth, because the whole time she's been letting you, the rest of the class, like, y'all running your mouth, y'all rushing to fix the silence and to fill it with noise. And she's just listening. And at the end, when she has something to say, it is so powerful. and that much more powerful because how she uses silence as a tool. From these experiences, here's some of the things that I've learned that have been useful to me. Number one, focusing on my breath. When I'm in conversation, especially when it's high stakes, I literally am one of those people who has to train my brain to stay quiet. And the way I do that is by focusing on my breath. Focusing on my breath also helps me know actually how many seconds have gone past, because it can feel as though that silence is so much bigger and that it's just getting bigger and bigger, and the clock is ticking and people are judging, people are looking at you, and people are definitely rejecting you. I don't breathe out loud like that in the conversation, right? Especially if it's a high stakes conversation, because I'm trying to minimize the awkward. But I am mindful of how much I speak, because I am one of those people. I'm a natural talker. I will talk. I've learned that the most powerful thing that I can do is to be more curious about the person and to use my silence to my advantage. So I will ask a question and ask the question without the extras, the trimmings that we like to tag on, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Just ask the question and pass the mic on cleanly and clearly. Be quiet. The next time you are in a high stakes meeting, count 1 through 3 or up to 5. If you're the kind of person who typically is the talker in the meeting, count 1 to 5 before you raise your hand or before you rush to fill the void with something that you really want to say, something that is really of value. Can you give it a pause? And when you own the room, when you are actually talking, either on stage or everybody is listening to you, how will you use silence so that it conveys not just your confidence, but also your power? Wait to share the most valuable part after 3 seconds and see how that lands with the room. This is Madam Speaker Says. I am your not so silent friend. I'm Makho Kgodi. I am definitely your professional yapper friend. And I would love to know from you in the comments, are you the professional yapper who has to train herself towards being more silent and using silence as a powerful tool? Are you more like me in that way? Or are you the person who's just naturally inclined, like a lot of people I love, to be silent, to be incurious, to be, I'm thinking of 2 words at the same time, to be inquisitive and curious, and allow the conversation to be the thing that you're listening to, and your silence to be the even bigger thing that you are listening to? Are you one of those special human beings? Let me know in the comments. My name is Makho Kgodi. I'm also here to let you know if you're interested in how can you use, no, don't use that part, let it go. I look forward to seeing you here next time on Madam Speaker Says.